They say women are mysterious, that they hide what they want, but the truth is, she's not hiding anything. She's waiting for a man calm enough to see past her words, strong enough to feel her chaos without reacting, grounded enough to make her melt without saying a word. She doesn't want your compliments. She wants to feel your silence. She doesn't want your effort. She wants to feel your edge. The man who sees the storm in her eyes and stays still. That's the man she craves. Most men try to impress. Real men don't chase. They observe, they lead. They dominate not with force, but with calm, unshakable presence. That's when she lets go. That's when she submits, mind, body, soul. Not to a boy trying to prove himself, but to a man who doesn't need to, and that is what makes you unforgettable. Women won't tell you this, not because they want to lie, but because they're quietly waiting for a man who sees them before they say a word. Most men only notice the surface, soft skin, curves, a nice smile, but under that beauty lives tension, a storm she doesn't understand, a hunger she doesn't admit. She doesn't want your compliments. She wants your stillness. She doesn't need your approval. She needs to feel your edge. You're not here to impress her. You're here to read her silence, to see the flicker in her eye when you say nothing at all, to catch the pause in her breath when she says she's doing fine, to notice the crack behind her strength. This isn't manipulation or games. This is masculine awareness, calm, unmoved, unapologetically grounded. You're not here to expose her. You're here to stay steady while she slowly reveals herself. And that is what makes you unforgettable, powerful, dangerous, because you don't react. You feel. And before we keep going, I've got something rare for you. A free ebook, The Female Mind Handbook. It's not tricks, it's revelation. Check the link in the description. Let's go deeper. 1. The hidden craving. She walks in with fire, glowing, confident, in control. You think she doesn't need you. You think she wants dominance. But look closer, just once. Her deepest desire is different. She wants to surrender silently, not to a weak man, never to a man who doesn't flinch. She wants to be taken, not physically without permission, but emotionally without hesitation. She wants to be claimed by presence, by strength, by calm. This is her first weakness. She aches to be possessed, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, by a man who won't collapse when she unleashes her storm. Society told her to hide it, to wear feminism like armor, to call her craving shameful, but her body still remembers. Her soul still reaches out, so she tests, she pulls away, she challenges you with words. She plays cold, hot, colder, not to confuse, but to measure, to see if you stay centered. She wants to feel your lead, not dominance, direction with love, not control, command with care. She wants you to hold frame while she crumbles in safety. 2. Emotional nudity. She says she's casual, unbothered. She says, let's keep it light. But she stares longer than normal. Her breathing skips when you speak. She laughs but doesn't mean it. She says just fun, and checks your stories at 2:56 a.m. This is her second weakness. She craves to be seen fully, not just her smile or body. She wants her emotional layers unwrapped slowly, patiently, without judgment. She wants to be known naked, not just physically, but emotionally. But most men fail here. They chase her words, not signals. They react to her noise, not the truth in her energy. The Stoic man stays unmoved. He doesn't ask, "What are we?" He doesn't push for labels. He listens beyond what she says. He watches her tone, her eyes. He judges nothing, but sees everything. So when she tries to pretend, he softly says, "You can stop. You don't need the act now." And in that silence, she breaks. Not in pain, but in relief. 3. Her drama loop. She says she wants peace. She posts quotes about healing. She lights candles, meditates, journals, but still she starts fires, tiny fights, sudden silences, petty provocations that make no sense. This is her third weakness. She uses drama to feel, because emotion is her language. She tests your calm, your control. Will you argue back like boys? Will you chase and panic? Or will you stand like stone-anchored, silent, emotionally bulletproof? She creates chaos to measure you, not to destroy, but to check if you're grounded or reactive. The Stoic man sees it all. He doesn't reward emotional chaos. He doesn't flinch when provoked. He doesn't dance with madness. He remains centered, focused, firm, and in his calm she softens. She either evolves or exits. Either way, he wins. 4. Fantasy vs. reality. She dreams all day, every day, not about wealth or weddings, but about surrender, power, submission. A man who grips her waist, who looks through her soul, who makes her feel feminine again. But here's the glitch. Most men are too thirsty or too timid to lead, so she stays in her head, living in fiction, dying inside. Her fourth weakness. Real life bores her, because no man brings the fire. No man dares to anchor her. The Stoic man doesn't perform. He doesn't try to impress. He walks with presence, authority, ease. He touches her like he owns her without needing to say a word. Suddenly, her fantasy fades, because real just walked in. And reality never felt so good. That's masculine depth. No performance, just silent power she can feel. 5. The I'm fine illusion. She says it with a smile, but her tone went cold. Her texts got shorter, drier. Her eyes stopped lighting up. This is her fifth weakness. She speaks in emotional contradiction. Words mean little. Emotions scream louder. Most men take the bait. They walk away or chase harder. But the Stoic man, different. He hears the silence underneath. He feels the pullback energy. He doesn't react. He leans in, not physically, emotionally. He simply says, I see you. You don't need to explain. I'm still here. And in that moment, she crumbles and finally breathes. Because now she's seen and nothing feels safer. 6. The validation loop. She watches your story again. She sends a random, hey stranger. She replies with heart emojis, not because she misses you, but because she needs to know she still has access to you. This is her sixth weakness, validation addiction, ego hunger. She needs to feel valuable again. Your attention feeds her insecurity, and most men rush to give it. Fast replies, long texts, hopeful vibes. But the Stoic man knows better. He delays, he pauses, he vanishes, not to play games, but to break patterns. He's not rude. He's just unavailable for emotional charity. He values peace over pleasing. He knows, when you feed her ego, you starve her respect. She doesn't need your affection. She needs your restraint, because the man who denies her validation owns her imagination, and that drives her wild. 7. The identity flood. She says she wants a gentleman, then wants a savage in bed. She wants safety and also chaos, softness and strength, sweetness and command. This is her seventh weakness. She doesn't know herself fully, not because she's fake, but because she's layered, complex, emotionally fluid and always changing. 1 minute she's fierce, next she's curled up vulnerable. She's boss by day, surrendered by night, and all of it is real. She's tired of choosing masks. She craves a man who doesn't care which version shows up today. The Stoic man holds his frame. He says, be anything, I'm still me. And in that stillness, she lands. She melts into the one place she doesn't have to perform. That's not control, that's freedom. 8. The strength mask. She walks in like thunder, high heels, fierce stare, cold voice. She pays her bills, leads meetings, looks like she doesn't need anyone, but under that armor she's aching. This is her 8th weakness. Her strength is a survival response. She had to be tough. She had no choice. But what she secretly craves is a man she can relax with. A man who doesn't crumble when she gets sharp, loud, intense. A man who holds his ground. He doesn't argue. He leads. He pulls her close with calm. He listens without backing down. He says, "This is how we move." And she finally lets go, not because she's weak, never, but because she's finally safe to be soft again. 9. Thought spirals. You say one small thing. She replays it in her mind 100 different ways by nightfall. She builds entire worlds in silence. She spirals, loops, overthinks everything. This is her 9th weakness. Circular thinking she can't escape, but logic won't save her. Explaining won't fix the loop. Only masculine interruption works. You don't say much. You act, you grip her waist and whisper, "Stop thinking, come back, now," and kiss her like she's yours. Suddenly, she drops from mind to body, from storm to surrender, because the Stoic man doesn't fix. He replaces thoughts with presence, and that is true seduction. These are her weaknesses, not flaws, not games, not tricks, but emotional, sensual, psychological needs, and your job isn't to exploit them. It's to understand and hold them, to stand still while she spins, to remain calm when she tests, to be the fire's container, the storm's mountain, her emotional rock. That's masculine mastery. You've felt this before. When she lost her mind and you kept yours. When she panicked and you didn't. That's power, that's gravity, and it's why she can't forget. Because your stillness speaks louder than any word she's ever heard. Comment aware if you've seen this, like the video, share the truth, and remember this always. She'll test your emotion, but your stillness is what makes her submit. So now you know, she doesn't want your attention. She wants your presence. She doesn't need your approval. She needs to feel your power, not in words, not in promises, but in your silence, your calm, your grounded leadership. A woman's heart isn't conquered by charm. It's claimed by the man who doesn't flinch when she pushes, tests, or breaks. She craves a man who sees her chaos and doesn't lose himself in it. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be real. Rooted, unmoved, the mountain in her storm, because in the end, she won't remember what you said. She'll remember how she felt in your presence, safe, seen, taken. If you felt this, comment Stoic love below. Like, subscribe, and stay grounded. She's already watching. Now show her who you are.